The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 WGBC invites you to the talk of all the towns in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. Believe it or not, it is January the 2nd. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Candace.
Yes. How are y'all this morning? I hope y'all are doing well.
Did y'all celebrate and stay up or go to bed like I did?
I went to bed, yeah. We didn't buy any fireworks like I was going to, but...
Kept meaning to, and it just didn't happen?
Well, somebody said that they were having a fireworks show at one of the churches, and so I was thinking it was New Year's Eve, but it did not happen to be New Year's Eve. It was last night, on New Year's night. So, anyway, it was a wonderful show at Pine Grove Church, and anyway.
They just had the days kind of mixed up.
Yeah, so we
there.
just kind of held off on watching the fireworks a day.
So I went to bed about 10:30. I couldn't wait on Dick Clark, although he wasn't coming back. Mm-hmm. Is it Ryan Seacrest now?
I guess. I don't know. That's who had been doing it, so I don't know.
Word is CNN missed the mark, the countdown,
I saw that.
And whoops, they missed it.
I saw that. That would be kind of embarrassing.
I don't think there's much they can be embarrassed about anymore.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
It's kind of like that plane that's...
Yeah.
No viewers left. Mm. They went a little too far left, even for the left, so to speak.
Yeah.
A mess there.
Best to just kind of stay right there in the middle.
Yeah.
You know.
Take care of all folks.
That's right.
We started this morning out with an accident. I-2059 is where this would happen at the split, right around that mile marker. What is it? 149, if I remember right. It's right along in there. Let me pull this up and show you. This is kind of the scene of what was going on early this morning. Right there around before 6 o'clock. An accident happened. Two people were ejected from the automobile. I think there was about 4 people in the car. Single vehicle accident. Numerous agencies arrived on scene, and from what I understand, it was some folks hurting real bad. Had a passerby tell me that they could hear screams, and we do hope that this all works out. They've gotten their medical attention. The road is all clear now, but a scary situation to say the least.
That is scary. Goodness.
Hate that. Hate that. Hate that.
Hope they're going to be okay, for sure.
Well, out in the West Lauderdale area, and I joked about this because to a degree it is funny.
I saw this.
All at the same time. It's serious but funny because this person will never live it down amongst their friends, being the dude that got hung in a tree.
Yeah. From what I understand, this kind of happens a good bit. Not to this person, but...
in general.
Yeah, the deer stand, the bottom detaches or whatever and comes off.
Falls off to the ground, you're there.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, think about that before cell phones. You just kind of sat there until someone discovered you didn't come home.
That would be scary, though, to me. I mean, you know that he was probably... I mean, especially if it was nighttime. Was it nighttime?
Oh, yeah,
by the time
yeah.
They got,
Oh, it was way after dark by the time they got there.
Yeah, I would not like that at all.
Somebody had to tote a big ladder on back in there.
Gosh.
One of them situations.
I bet his guy friends will not let him live that down there.
Oh, it's going to be a joke from now on, without a doubt. Meridian started off the new year with a bang, so to speak. Yes, believe it or not, we had a shooting yesterday. About 3 o'clock is when this all went down. It's been ruled as an accidental shooting of someone either moving a gun or possibly cleaning a gun when it went off. A .22 caliber pistol shot someone in the back and come out somewhere in the chest.
Oh, goodness.
They were rushed to an emergency room. I don't believe it's life-threatening. They're going to be sore for quite some time. Nothing like quite being shot and going ow.
Oh, yeah. That would be awful.
So, but no major things, no murders to start the year out. As we looked at that, and we're going to talk about how many we ended with and go over the locations and things of that nature here. I might have to whoop out some glasses because I got asked about this.
Did you get you some new glasses?
No, I got my backup pair, my extra backup pair.
Oh, okay.
And I ran into Doc Mason Saturday night down at Chino's, and I said, hey, we got to hook up. I got to see you again. And he said he's going to make me an appointment this week. But as we look at things that happened on New Year's Eve, I didn't report a lot because I dug deep into this, and I made some notes on this. Now, we did have two accidents. We had one on Highway 19 South out by Carmel Church Loop Road. It involved a motorcycle. And we also had, if you'll know where the bad curve is on Highway 493 coming out of Meridian, by Lee's Bait and Tackle and the church there.
Yes.
Had an accident right there in that curve. Always a sharp one there that happens.
It is. And if the road is wet at all, you cannot be going at a high rate of speed because you will go on off the road.
And I don't know the name, but as a kid, when I'd go see my grandmother, there used to be a beer joint there. There's no other way to word it. There was a honky-tonk there in that curve.
It was.
It's long gone. I don't know what the name of it was. Maybe the Dewdrop Inn.
It was, I can't remember what it was either, but I know at one time I think it was called Reba's.
It was always a wreck there.
It was a different name every time, you know.
It was so hard to put it in drive after coming out. And in the ditch you would go.
Yeah.
Hey, remember the old days when there used to be honky-tonks in Meridian? There'd be checkpoints a half a mile from there. Put them all out of business.
Yeah.
It happened.
That'll do it, yeah.
Now, numerous, and you go, well, I didn't hear of anybody getting shot. Well, no one did get shot in the city limits. Now, there were tons of firework calls that people go, hey, I hear fireworks. And it is illegal, but people are going to do it anyway. I don't care where you live. It's going to happen. Now, as I said, I did keep a fine line and try to keep okay, this probably is gunshots. This is probably, but I'm just going to read over a few. Here's my list here of all these different places that most likely had some gunshots. 56th Avenue, 8th Street, 59th and 4th, 34th and 14th, 20th Street and 45th, 36th Street and 35th Avenue. Now, as this list just keeps on going, there was something interesting that happened twice that night.
Really?
And I probably should have made a post about it, but I was doing my best to keep up with everything that was going on. We had a transformer and a power line shot. Now, was it by accident? I don't know, you get all excited about the New Year's coming, bang, bang, bang.
Right.
And although it's illegal to do that in the city, but why not? I mean, it doesn't come down or anything, does it?
I don't know. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near it when it does get shot.
But it did strike a power line. It caught on fire. We had another one that was blocked out. Most likely the transformer was hit. That's not 125% confirmed, but that's what it was thought to be, as the people were without power for a little while as they came back and restored it. I do hope that was accidental and this is not some form of a new thing like we've been watching in the Carolinas and out in Washington State.
Right. Yeah, where they're purposely damaging the sources of electricity. Yeah.
And, that just adds a whole new meaning to the possibility of burglaries if we start having criminals do that to do crime to where it kills everything.
Yeah.
But let's hope that is not coming to our area, and all that was by a boo-boo. Is one way to put it there.
Yeah, that would be bad. Worse.
On New Year's Day, and you don't hear this much, but every now and then somebody wants deer meat, and they want it pretty bad, really bad. And you're driving down the road. And I've heard of the good old boy system going, there's a 10-point slam on brakes, grab the gun.
Yeah.
But what happens when it's in the city on Highway 80 and you go, oh, look, a doe in somebody's yard? You slam on brakes and jump out with a pistol and shoot the deer and then get a little too scared to go get it over the chain link fence.
Oh, yeah.
They evacuated the area as police came to the scene.
Why? I mean, that's just crazy. Why would somebody do that?
It was reported at first as someone had shot someone's puppy, and it ended up being a deer that they had done. They saw that and saw a quick chance to get meat, and their plan was...
So did they not realize it was a chain link fence, I guess?
I'm not sure. It was done with a pistol, so... they didn't get the meat in the end.
Yeah.
We had some reports of some folks that might have been trying to burglarize around the 27th Avenue area over the weekend. We also had several abandoned buildings caught fire. We're going to look at some pictures here in a moment of the huge one downtown.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That was a huge one.
And, as we look at domestic disputes, they bother me. There's nothing that I or you can do. It's up to officials when it would be tough for me to be a cop. I don't know how I would handle some situations. It's probably best I'm not. But when you get a call to a home that a father has been possibly drinking too much and taking all the kids' toys and set them on fire, how do you handle that? I would be hard pressed to handle that situation.
Well, it's awful. I'm just going to say, I mean, it's awful when children are involved.
I know.
It is. It's awful. But not just stuff like that. I mean,
Well, you know, if you saw that story that happened in the state of Mississippi to where the guy was a sex offender, they arrested him, had an 11-year-old girl with him that was most likely on some form of drug that he had given her. Now, what do you think happened?
yeah, that's just, it's awful. It's awful what kids are put in the middle of on a daily basis. And you know, like I said, it's horrible. I mean, some children have to watch their mother and father go at it, fussing and fighting, and you know, they're just kind of a standby watching person.
And you know as well as I do, if you're brought up in that environment, it leads to you later in life doing that because you thought it was a normal thing. We all know that.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes that's true, and sometimes it's not. Because I know I was kind of brought up in that at one time. My dad drank at one time. I loved my dad, but he did have a drinking problem, and there was stuff like that went on. It made me, I mean, not want to be in a situation or not want my children to be in a situation like that, you know. But I don't know. So I don't always think maybe that is the case. You know, somebody's not going to always, you know. I think that's a cop out sometimes, is what I'm saying.
I just see a lot of cases of
There is some, yeah. There's a good bit, but I don't know.
We got more up and coming. We're going to talk about how many murders happened last year and where they all happened in Meridian. That's next. If you're an outdoorsman, Garrett's Outfitters is a place to head to in Meridian. They have a complete line of gloves to keep your hands warm in these cold mornings, toboggans to block that wind, and America's favorite Carhartt, from the rugged overalls to slacks and shirts. Work boots and mud boots as well. Browse around the gun accessories and a complete line of just about any gun. Protect your investment, your guns, with one of the many Browning gun safes they have to choose from. For the outdoorsman in your family, it's Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 invites you by to take a look at a brand new product they've got. Odes, ATVs, and UTVs. These side-by-sides range from 800 to 1,000 cc's, and they come with heat or air. Whether you're doing work around the farm or hunting, they've got the unit just for you to keep warm or cool, depending upon that Mississippi and Alabama day. Swing by for a test drive today at Freeman Tractor. See coleslaw, buttermilk, and don't forget you can meet their newest employee, Eggplant. That's Freeman Tractor, Highway 494.
Have you been in an auto accident? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Don't settle for less and know your rights. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
Y'all visit with old Will. He's a good fella here in Meridian. I'm Scotty Ray. This is Candace. And as we mentioned, the close of the year is over. It's one for the books, and we end the year with 16 murders for the city of Meridian. Last year we had 17. The year before that we had 15 murders. So we're one less than it was last year. So let's take a look at what we've got here as we pull this up. Let me show you the map. I sketched this out of where they all happened. This is the way, if you were to look at it overall, this is the very last murder that we had on Murphy Road here.
So they have said it's a murder.
Well, it's being investigated as a murder. I'm not, it's just point blank. Meridian Police Department is not going to give me an answer, period. I can call as much as I want.
Right.
She's not going to say anything. I've asked and then asked again, haven't I?
Yeah.
So there it is. It's a murder. And this is what is bad about this. I feel that we should have press conferences with murders, especially when we get into, none of the details have been released on this, especially with the way this murder happened. We need to have press conferences and understand, because there is a killer still out there somewhere.
Right.
It's scary. And the general public needs to know these things. That's my thoughts. As we go back to this, pull this back up. I got kind of sidetracked there, didn't I? Whoops. Okay. Here we go. If you will look at this, now this is over here. Do y'all remember here the Texaco? Right there, those two. But if you were to rate all of this, and if you'll see it scattered out, let's go back here and look at what we've got listed here. Again, you can read all of this on Sam Media. And we may have an issue there. Now, here we go. Let me pull this back up. I had the screen blink. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah.
And pull this up, and we go down here, and let's look at this. Again, you can read about this on sammedia.network. Wow, that just keeps acting up, doesn't it? Hang on here. I had a blooper happen here. Let me just open up a new page here and go back to this.
While you're doing that, I want to say happy birthday to Anitra Collins Humphreys.
Yeah.
Today is her birthday.
Hope it's a big one.
She's
there.
in the house community.
Beautiful place there.
Yes.
All right, I got this pulled back up, and I don't know what went on there with why it done that. But as we pull this up, we pull right here. Let's look at this. As it comes to a close, we had 16 murders, one less than 21, which had 17. We go back to 2020, you had 15 murders. Where was the deadliest place to live in the city limits of Meridian? It would be the State Boulevard, Royal Road area. 5 murders happened within that small area, followed by Old Marion Road, Dale Drive. We had 3 murders in that area. Now, there was a lot of shooting with that. Now, here's what we've got. Let's just look at this. March 16th of last year, we had a murder on the 2100 block of 43rd Avenue. April 22nd, the 2200 block of 44th Avenue. Highway 19 North, we had 2 murders there on April the 28th. May come about, the 800 block, and you keep going down through here. April, June, and December are the most brutal months. They were tied for 3 murders each. Now, keep in mind, there were a lot of other shootings that happened. These were just the people that died from their wounds. If you'll remember, we had a shooting, a bad one there on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
At a honky-tonk. It just goes on and on and on with what we've got. I'm going to do a better job of tracking each month where the shootings happen to let you know what side of town it's all happening on. The statistics prove what happens.
Right.
These are the facts of what went on and where they went. You can read all about this on our webpage, and I hope you will. It's important to know what goes on in your city. You know where things are going on.
But like we've said in the past, there's no areas that have been untouchable, from crime.
That's right.
So
we see this moving
anywhere.
northward into North Meridian all the time. We're starting to see burglaries now happen at businesses. Sonic, the Soul Estate, the Safe. It's just consistently more and more being pushed in every neighborhood. No one is safe without crime anymore.
That's right. I have a client that lives over in the North Hills area, and several times, like, her ladder got taken out of her carport in the middle of the night and be found down the road. I mean, it's just stuff like that.
Using it to their advantage for something. I know what, I don't know. But I guess you can use that to break in people's homes and.
Well, and I think she has one of the Ring camera things, and I think at one time she had told me he looked like a young kid, probably just a young kid. But we've know by people by being told that it's a lot of the young teenagers who are doing this kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Who are involved possibly in gangs and stuff. So I don't know. I think it's a sad situation that I hope will make a turnaround in the near future.
We definitely do. We had let me see if I can find this real quick as we go back to our page here. We had a fire in the overnight hours. The Meridian Fire Department was extremely busy over the weekend. Here's the fire that we had last night. Now, this was an abandoned home in the area as we look at this on 42nd Street. This would be just due south. Here's North Hill Street. Skate Odyssey is just due south of there where it was. And again, an abandoned home, no one hurt. But boy, that's scary.
Yeah.
Things like that happen. Again, it wasn't cold last night, but that doesn't mean that people were not trying to stay there.
Yeah.
Could it have been a bottle rocket? Maybe.
Could have.
I'm sure that the fire investigators will investigate that to find out a little bit more about what went on with it. Hey, did I mention there was a cow loose last night on Russell Thompson Road?
No.
Breaking news.
I hope everybody could dodge it if they were driving.
If you're missing Nellie, that's where she was last night.
That's dangerous, though. Cows and horses getting in the road.
Yeah,
Very
absolutely.
dangerous.
Now let's get down, and I want to talk about this because the guys, the Meridian Fire Department, went above and beyond with an accident that happened this weekend, or rather a fire. I want y'all to look at this. This is the scene from the 29th Avenue Bridge. Did you ever know that ladder went that tall?
I didn't.
You've got two guys here, one at the very top, one here, one squirting the water down. This is the old Cross Roofing building that was abandoned. They were using their new building. As we look at these pictures across here, just nothing short. That's up there now.
Oh, yeah. God, thank goodness they can do stuff like that, though. Oh, my goodness.
That was a
I
major
know
fire.
I couldn't do that. I know you couldn't do that. Well, my son, we were talking about being scared of heights. He said, Mama, why are you so scared of heights? And I said, I just am. I don't like them.
I don't either.
I don't.
And I'm not, well, of course, my mom always told me I was scared of heights until you start believing what you're told. And Mom, I'm blaming you because you did. But I cannot walk. If I were to be pulled over and have to do the walk for the cops,
Right.
I cannot walk a straight line. I don't know, was it your equilibrium? Is that what they call it?
I guess so,
And my
yeah.
balance is off? Mm-hmm. I could not do it. I'm going to fall.
Yeah. I hope that.
I'm a sober drunk. I can't imagine me
Yeah.
drinking.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. Well, it must be Amy Barrett's birthday today. Happy birthday, Amy.
Oh, Amy!
Yeah.
I hope you get something with an elephant on it today. She's a big Alabama fan. If you're wondering why I brought up the elephant there, we do hope it works out well for her.
Yes.
She gets a cake. Her husband just doesn't have a good memory, though. I know him. We have someone else who made it wasn't a midnight release, but it was yesterday. We found out that someone else is going to be running for sheriff of Clark County. Now, tomorrow is the big day where everybody heads to the courthouses to sign up. As we look at this, Anthony Chancellor has signed his nickname there to sign up to run for sheriff of Clark County. As we know, Todd is not going to be rerunning.
Okay.
Kemper is most likely going to have a challenge to Sheriff James Moore. Meridian, Lauderdale County, as we see this, Sheriff Billy Solly is retiring. Ward has already said he's going to be running, and we expect an announcement in the next 24 hours of someone else who's going to be running. There could be two.
Yeah.
We'll get those out to you as quickly as possible, but it's going to be in every courthouse in the Deep South, folks lining up to sign that line.
Interesting to see how all of it goes, though, So.
District 1 supervisor, there's a ton of people that are signing up for that. And also, Clayton Cobbler, coroner of Lauderdale County,
Right.
says he's not going to seek re-election. He's going to be retiring. And it's going to be a list about yay long
Yeah.
of folks that do that.
I know I think I had seen where Stella McMahon was going to run for that. I know she had announced hers.
Jonathan Wells is
Jonathan Wells.
and
yeah.
there's two or three others that I'm not familiar with. So
Right.
we'll have the complete list after they go see Donna Jill tomorrow. We'll read them out to you, and then as the election begins, and it will be August for the runoffs, preliminaries, and then November we'll have the final vote to see what happens.
Now, do they have until February 1st, though, to get everything in?
I think that's the way
to
it
announce
goes.
a running, yeah. I know it all starts tomorrow, though.
So if you're thinking about it, you got roughly 30 days to get your paperwork involved and go handle that.
Yeah.
Some folks thinking hard.
Yeah.
I've heard others thinking about it, and they just hadn't done it yet. We had the report of a missing person on the Duffy Road come about. It was shared hundreds and hundreds of times as someone missing on an ATV, and it turns out they were involved in a crash because I text Ward, and I said, is this legit? Is somebody missing? He goes, it sure is. A few minutes later, he sends back, I got him in jail. They were drinking and driving and had an accident, and they arrested and went to the Lauderdale County jailhouse.
Never a good thing
Nope.
to get behind any wheel. I don't care if it's a
Bicycle.
side-by-side, a boat, a car. It doesn't matter what it is.
If George Jones, he'd tell you even a lawnmower gets you a DUI.
Yeah.
And, at the time, I really laughed about that, but
Yeah.
because I didn't consider that as being anything. But, boy, they sure got him.
Right.
We have a missing person in the state of Mississippi. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigations is looking for this young man. He's a 60-year-old out of the Jackson, Mississippi area. If you happen to see him, they sure would like to have him back. We don't like it when anybody's gone missing. Any show that you watch, and I like those, the first 48. You really got to hustle there that first 48 hours to find somebody. As if you remember this past year, Clark County, the elderly lady that came up missing at 3 a.m. and then was found in a creek later, and the young lady from Kemper that was never found.
Right. I think about that all the time. I really do, because I go around Kemper area, the back way sometimes to the house, and it's in the Kemper area, and I know that family is just heartbroken, just not knowing. So, but this man that is missing, he has been missing since Thursday, September the 8th.
Sure has.
Was last seen Thursday, September the 8th. So, that's a while.
I believe that's Paige. Want to know if there's any good news. Yes, we had a newborn baby in the Meridian area, the first to come about. Her name was Autumn Rose. She was 8 pounds, and I want to say 15 ounces up at Anderson's Hospital. So congratulations to the lovely couple who had that. That's some great news there.
I love that name, Autumn Rose.
Autumn is a pretty name.
Yeah, but that's a pretty name. Put those two together. It's pretty.
How long did it take you to name all your kids? Did you know beforehand? Or was it after they were born?
The first one was the hardest one to name because actually she didn't even have a name till after she was born. And I finally just picked 2 names that were in the baby name book right next to each other, Madison, Mackenzie. So, but yeah, every time I would come up with a name, like my husband at the time didn't like it. He was like, no, I dated a girl in high school. She was crazy. Or something.
Cray.
Her name was that. No. Or it was a name that he'd come up with. And I was like, that was somebody I knew. I did not like her.
And I cannot.
It was just like something
every time. I urge people about this. Really take time and pick a good name for your child. There's so many names now that by looking at it, I have no idea what it is.
Right.
I can't pronounce it.
I mean, if somebody else cannot pronounce the name, they're going to have a hard time, I would think, spelling the name.
It sticks with you. And if things weren't so political, my grandmother used to tell me some great, funny stories about names that I can no longer tell because it would be received as being politically incorrect. So I'll leave that. But my grandma, she was funny, y'all. It is funny stuff, but we'll leave it as is.
But now I love that the older names, I say older names, I mean like
Earl,
like Rose. I mean, I saw a little girl not long ago named Hazel. That was a neat. I mean, the older names are coming back, and I love that. Like my grandmother's name was Vera.
I hadn't heard that name in forever.
I love it. If my daughter, I said, if you ever have a...
Well, if you have another one, we'll let you name it.
This woman ain't having it. No, my baby having days are over. Yeah. But no, I love the older names. I think they're pretty.
Sad news as we look to Hattiesburg as a pedestrian was struck and killed this weekend during the New Year's Eve down in that area. We'll have the numbers from the Mississippi Highway Patrol, and we do hope that it is less this year than it was last year of people that their lives were lost on Mississippi highways. That's what we pray. We'll find out what they are before long, as Mississippi Highway Patrol will be releasing those numbers. We do know that someone passed away, and I think it's a county road, so it will not show up in those numbers in Neshoba County. Someone was ejected from a vehicle and they lost their life over the weekend.
Goodness.
But that's just sad stuff there. Holidays and people on highways and byways, it's just always more people traveling. So we got so much more to come. We'll talk about weather. We got serious weather headed our way. A level 3 for the Meridian area, which means tornadoes are most likely going to happen tomorrow afternoon between the hours of noon and 8 p.m. Now, as it stands now, there's a little bit of Kemper County involved, but everything I've read and studied with the meteorologists seems to be pointing toward it could go a little bit further north also. So if you live in Noxubee County, it's still young. We're 24 hours out from this, and these lines can change. And even at a level 2, it can still have a tornado. So we'll talk about that in a minute, and we'll find out what happened today, way back when. All that's up and coming here with Scotty Ray and Candace.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
Well, the farm supply is open today, and they have a lot of things going on there that you probably need. Heaters and a whole lot more for when the time is right. If you want to sit out back and have your own little fire, you can even do this during the summertime. They're great, those fire pits there. A great place to sit and rock your life away.
That's right. They have the rocking Adirondack-style chairs.
See, I'm glad I didn't have to say that word. But you sure have a cup of coffee and rock right away and enjoy yourself. From swings and a whole lot more, however you want to do it. I believe they can even get you one that'll hang too. A jacket, maybe you need t-shirts or glasses. They've got that, and things to keep your ears warm. It's loaded of the many different things there, including everything for the rut that is going on now. See them today, the farm supply with boots and a whole lot more. It's right there. Corn, they've got it for all of your livestock needs. See them, the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151. It'll lead you right there. Right. So can you believe it's Monday, January 2nd?
I can't. The year just flew by. I got to get used to writing 2023, though. I think I'm going to be stuck on writing 2022 for a while. You know, that's usually how it is.
Yeah, you will, for weeks, be involved with accidentally saying the wrong year. And,
yeah,
it's okay.
Because, you know, sometimes I still have to write a check, you know, for something. And you always write the wrong date after.
Happens.
Anyway.
A lot of women get their age confused, keep saying 29 for 30 years or better.
I say back it on up and start going backwards with your age. Yeah.
Anybody remember the song Trailers for Sale or Rent? Well, Roger Miller is celebrating a birthday today. He was born on this date back in 1936. And what a guy he was. A great comedian and just an all-around fun person. My uncle used to love me, but she died.
Nope.
That
might fit like nowadays, right?
You know, really true. I remember as a kid going, what does he mean by that? 1936, this guy would be born. He would, have a faith-based following, and then it all came crumbling down, I think is the best way to put that. Jim Baker, born on this day back in 1936. Also, of course, that's Tammy Faye. Was that real popular, that neck thing she was wearing?
Cuff necklace. I think at one time it probably was.
Just doesn't look real attractive to me. That's just my thoughts. But, boy, she sure kept Maybelline in business. She should have been a sponsor.
Did you ever see the shirt that a lot of people had that said, I ran into Tammy Faye today? And it was like just
splots.
Smudge, like two eyes that like the mascara. But she did wear a good, I wear a good bit of makeup myself, but
not as much. And the lady that took her place on that TBN network, I don't know what her name was. Yeah. She was as much or even more. I think she's passed away now, but boy. And you know what? I thought about that. And maybe you're looking for religion and you stumble across that and you go, I don't know about this. And then you keep going.
It takes away from, I think,
the message.
Yeah, it possibly could take away from it.
Because it scared me.
But when you look back, I don't know if you saw the movie.
Which
with
one?
Them.
No, I didn't watch it. Did they?
I was floored at some of the stuff that I learned, you know, that went on.
Did you find out that Jimmy Swaggart had a Canon camera?
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah? You don't remember all that?
No. This was Jim Baker.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll just say maybe they included like
They could have, possibly so. I don't know.
1974. Of course, you know Jack from Three's Company. Well, behind it, there's going to be a lot of people that go, I didn't know that. Well, his daddy was famous. His name was Tex Ritter, as he passed away on this date back in 1964, just a few days away from celebrating his 69th birthday there. Cowboy legend, singer in movies, and a whole lot more. Tex Ritter, that's the way it was. John Ritter. Now you see the combination.
John Ritter, he was always so funny on Three's Company and just different things. Problem Child, he was the dad.
I don't remember. How old was John? Wasn't he?
He was young. I mean, I want to say maybe he was in his 50s, maybe.
Early 50s, something like that.
Maybe not, He might not even been that old, but he had a heart condition. He had I think it was the Widowmaker of his heart, that...
Do you remember him being on the Waltons as the preacher?
I saw, I do remember that, but I couldn't.
John Boy stopped him from doing a book burning, if y'all remember, when the war was going on with Germany. And they were going to burn all the books, and John Boy goes, wait a minute, you don't know what you're burning.
Yeah.
And he picked it up, and it was scripture. No one knew what the words were.
Right.
Of course, John Boy translated.
Yeah. Well, the best role I ever saw him in was on Three's Company, though. He was funny.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him there. 2015, we would lose a little legend. And I say little legend. He'd made really good friends with Brad Paisley and more. Today, little Jimmy Dickens passed away, and he went down into the history of country music.
I got to see him at the Grand Ole Opry right before he passed away. Yeah,
Little fellow,
he is
wasn't he?
little. I'm 5'4", so I consider myself, pretty short. And he was about to hear on me. He's really short. He made a joke about that the toilet lid hit him in the head one time when he went to the bathroom.
That is funny. And you have to imagine, especially during his lifetime, things were a lot different. And picking was just picking, and you either deal with it.
Right. If you can't make fun of yourself,
That's right.
Goodness.
This guy is not remembered as being a good guy for this being one of the reasons. Nixon today took an ink pen and signed into law. Y'all remember this? 55. It went into the law today.
I feel like you kind of going...
Your snail's pace.
At
Things
55.
are picking up. Interstates are now up to 70. And when you get way out west into Texas, it's sometimes 80, 85 for speed limits in the middle of nowhere. And when I tell you it's nowhere, it is nowhere.
But every time I'm in a hurry, which is most all the time, I always get behind somebody going 55 or slower than that. And I'm just like, oh my goodness.
There we go. Steve tells us it was Paul and Jan. You pronounce that Crouch is how you say that? That was the lady from TBN that had so much makeup.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't running her down,
I just
y'all.
remember the cotton candy looking hair.
Yeah, it was pink.
Yeah, it looked like cotton candy to me.
Yeah. His cornbread said he was known as Old Tater, and we're talking about little Jimmy Dickens there. Yeah. Let's see here what else we had happen today. It was 1960, as we were talking about people stepping up today going, hey, I'm going to run for office. It was 1960 that this young fellow said he wanted to be our president. He would do so. He would make it about 3 years into that. Let's see here. Oh, we lost one of the funniest guys there ever was. He played the part very well. And a lot of you wanted to be on that island with him, just so you could be near Meridian. As we lost the skipper. Alan Hale passed away on this date in 1990, some 33 years ago. 33 years ago.
It don't seem like it's been 33 years. God.
Man alive, what are we going to do? And that's a little taste of what went on in today's history there. Maybe it brought back a memory, a smile to you there. I hope it did. Boy, how time gets away from us. It truly does.
Yeah, it does. Time just flies right on by. It just seems like yesterday that all my kids were just little bitty, and now they're grown, and one's got kids of her own, and
If you the old terminology about blinking, boy, that is some kind of truth to that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. We got more coming up with Scotty Ray and Candace as we get this morning rolling for you. It is the second day of January, officially on the first day of the work week.
Right.
School is not back in yet. Still a bunch of youngins hanging around the house playing and having a good time.
Yes.
That
Toys
will
drug out.
soon end, though. Whew. We'll be right back. Are you looking for a trustworthy place to buy your next car or truck? Visit my friends at Massey Supermart Auto Sales. They've been doing business since 1955. There's a reason they've been in business for so long. They have fair prices, superior service, and repeat customers. For your next quality pre-owned vehicle, it's Massey Supermart Auto Sales, taking care of Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
As we talk about our friend Chet, well, they're open for business this January, doing anything that deals with your car. They want to wish you a happy new year and success and all of that. But when the time comes that you need them, they invite you by. Word of mouth is what you'll find. Ask around. Don't believe me. Ask somebody that's used Chet. You'll find out just what a good experience it was, from color matching to, well, taking care of business. Maybe you've been sideswiped at a red light, bumped into something, or maybe you ran over something. Doesn't matter. They'll treat you the same and get your car back together like it used to be. See them again. They're located on Highway 495 in the Center Hill community. 737-2961. They'll do all that insurance work and take care of things for you. Now, as we mentioned, we want you to be on high alert tomorrow. Somewhere around lunchtime tomorrow through 8 p.m. tomorrow night, the Meridian area has moved to a level 3. I'm going to show you a couple things here. Let's pull up what the National Weather Service has given us as we watch this. This is our timeline as we look at this. Now, the western side of the state will begin tomorrow afternoon, or this afternoon at 5. It will slowly make its way across, and by the time it reaches us, our zone here, looks like it'll be there from noon until 8 p.m. Now, we are in an enhanced risk now. That's this number 3. Which means severe storms, tornadoes, some possibly very strong could happen tomorrow. Damaging winds of 70 miles an hour and hail up to half dollar size. That's huge.
Do some damage to your vehicles and other things outside.
Park those. But the main terminology I wanted you to pay close attention to was, I'm using that word tornado involved with this, as we had a few weeks ago. Now, let's pull this up statewide here to radar and let you take a look at what we've got. This is where we go to Meridian Honda radar. As you'll see here, right there, this is the area where tornadic activity could occur. There's talk that this may go a little bit due north and encompass a larger area as a storm approaches. Let's zoom in on this so you'll know exactly what's going on. Let's talk about locations of who's involved in this. This will go from a line from about Battlefield moving northeasterly across Kemper County, crossing 495 and crossing right there at 493 at the old power plant, chemical coal plant.
Yeah, the coal plant.
I couldn't get it out. It cuts across the county right due north of DeKalb, following Highway 16 through Scuba and Bennsville. Now, what we're expecting is this possibly be pushed a little bit further north. Now, if you'll look at this, all of this area, and this goes across northeasterly across Newton County as well, here at I-20 is where it starts. Goes right across through Turkey Creek, taking in all of downtown Decatur and out the county back up here toward Kemper. All of Lauderdale County, all of Clark County, Jasper County, Wayne County, all of these areas are in this, including all our friends in Livingston, Butler, these areas, Chatham, Alabama. Y'all are under a Category 3 for tomorrow. Now, does not mean that a Category 2, the yellow, cannot cause a tornado. It just means that it's more likely to happen in that 3 area, and strong.
The conditions for it is more favorable.
We'll go, should the county go we'll go live on television, but we will be here covering all of this live on Facebook and YouTube. We want you to follow us. If you're not a follower of us, look us up on YouTube. I've got links to it on the Facebook page. Scotty Ray Report is one way to find it. Sam Media, you can look it up that way on YouTube. It's a great way. We will be here following and tracking all of this and giving step-by-step information as this stuff gets near us. At the end of the day, we want you to be safe. That's what it's all amounts to. Now, with this being said, also, let's go back over here and take a look at a few other things that the National Weather Service is telling us with this. Flash flooding is possible with this also, as you'll look at this. Now, the Meridian area, a 2, when you get into a 1, when you get into the Mississippi Delta, it's going to be even more rain. That's where the storms are coming in first into the state of Mississippi. Now, the wind, if you'll notice, Philadelphia and a little bit of Newton County there, the northwest corner included in, and also Kemper, will have higher, stronger winds in the Meridian area. What's that mean? Again, I say this every time. If you got a tree overhanging your home, do not sleep in that room or sit on the couch during a storm.
Right. Don't take that chance.
Have Mike Reed come out and get rid of them for you. It's not worth your life.
Yeah, and it is, a lot of times they will fall on the houses and cause substantial damage.
If you've
that's
ever
always
been
a scary
around
thing.
anybody that cut a tree, and Candace, you can testify to this. I'm sure you've seen it. When that tree hits the ground, it almost feels like an earthquake.
Jars the ground. Yeah, yeah.
And you think about that being your home, you don't stand a chance.
Right.
You can be hurt or lose your life in that, and it just is not worth it. That's why I say take that extra precaution. Tomorrow, wear some extra thick sole shoes if you're going to be around the house. Have a helmet of some sort there. Charge your cell phones to where you've got power on this. And also, it doesn't hurt if you've got a generator and you hadn't tuned it up lately. Crank it up today. Make sure it works in case there's damage and you're without power a few hours. Nothing worse than sitting in the dark, is it?
Oh, I know. And like when the wind picks up, sometimes we have like high gusts of wind that can move patio furniture. It can move a trampoline. And, if you can, or get somebody to, just turn the trampoline upside down if possible. If you don't have the little thing on the top.
That's right.
Some people have that, but like we have one that does. But we have it anchored down in the middle where it's anchored down into the ground.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Just think about all those things because those can blow into your home or blow on top of your home also.
And you want that generator going because somebody's stomach's going to be growling. Do you really want to sit there and just be able to hear that for 2 hours? I didn't think so. So take care of that problem there as we look at it. But that's a heads up of what's coming tomorrow. At the end of the day, we want you to be safe. That's what we do. That's why we're here. The rest of it's just fun after that, but we're truly here to make sure that you're safe and you know everything that's going on in and around the communities near you. That's what we do there. Jackpot up to over $600 million.
Oh, my
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Somebody will get lucky and win that. It would never be me.
685 is what it is. And if they miss another drawing, where does it go after that? I don't know. But a lot of money.
I could buy tons and tons of tickets, and I don't think I'd ever be lucky enough.
You don't
speaking
think
from experience. Like I've never been lucky when it come to anything like that. But anyway.
Listen, I was trying to find, and I said I would talk about this for a little bit. They've released, this is the folks at Rolling Stones have released the top 200 greatest artists ever supposedly ever released there. Elvis makes it in at, I want to say, in the high 20s there. Hank
17.
Williams, 17.
Yeah.
Hank's at 30. Luther Vandross, isn't he that guy that's known for romantic songs?
Yeah, I don't know. Is he still alive? I want to say he passed away years ago. But
Kurt
yeah, he had
Cobain made it there. That guy that passed away in the 90s there. I did not
Etta
see.
James, she's at 41. Patsy Cline, I saw, was at 13.
Yeah, that's pretty good there. All right, let's go to the top 10 and let's just do a rundown of here. And again, this is Rolling Stones. We may not agree. Loretta, I know, made the list too, but she's not top 10. Coming in at 10, do you remember Al Green?
Yeah.
Okay, Al Green made the list there. Otis Redding sitting on the dock of the bay at number 9. Number 8, Beyonce. Is she that big?
Yeah, I guess so.
Huh, okay. Stevie Wonder comes in at number 7 of all-time greatest singers. Ray Charles, I think Ray Charles deserves to be in that top 10. He's at number 6. Mariah Kelly is
Carey.
Carey, is
Yeah,
she?
Mariah Carey. Yeah, she's the one that can do her voice at that real high pitched where it can probably break a glass.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
All right, explain this guy to me. Billie Holiday, is he new or old? I don't know the name.
I don't either. I don't know.
Seriously, if somebody knows that, tell me who it is. Now, number 3, a Mississippi boy. Sam Cooke comes in at number 3 on the list of all-time greatest singers, and he really was good. Number 2, Whitney Houston. I think if you've ever listened to "I'll Always Love You," will agree that
She
that
had a
girl.
beautiful voice. She did.
It was a God-given talent. And number 1, I mean, this lady's good, but I was thinking more of maybe Elvis, maybe George Jones, or there's so many people that go into this, but I'm not knocking her by any means. But Aretha Franklin is named as the number 1 singer of all time.
I'm really surprised that I didn't see Lionel Richie up at the top somewhere.
The list has 200 folks on here, and I probably should have glanced down through here a little bit closer and said Willie Nelson made it to number 4. Tina Turner is 55. Barry White, he's another one of those love. Turn the lights off, let's dance, belly rubbing music. Isn't that what he does?
Yeah.
George Michael made it in at 62.
I'm not even seeing Lionel Richie unless I've totally missed it.
They put Chris Stapleton in at number
See, he
170.
should have been on up at the top, I think.
Brenda Lee, her one big hit, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, made her at 160-something there. The Boss, Bruce Springsteen at 77. The list goes on and on. But some of these, Elton John is 100. I would have thought he would have been, because people act like he is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, but like I said, Lionel Richie should have been on up closer to the top. I don't even see him at all on there. That surprises me.
All right, Cornbread. Let me tell you something. Now, truck drivers know what's going on. Cornbread tells me that Billie Holiday was a lady, and she was a jazz singer, blues. Had no clue.
Okay.
Also, look at that. Back in the 40s, Nancy said. Gail says, Elvis number 1. Come on now. And Anita, you've heard the song Belly Rubbing Music. You know, when 2 belt buckles clash and you're dancing on there.
Yeah, I think one of my kids thought it was funny one time, I think, to change my ringtone to a Barry White song. And
Let's Get It On.
Yeah. And I think I was in the middle of the pig and my phone went off. I was so embarrassed. I couldn't find it. It was in the bottom of and it just kept on singing. I was so embarrassed.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Scotty Ray and Candace, good morning. We'll be right back.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
The Square Peg Mini Mall, located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia, is a family-owned business that promises to treat you like family. The Square Peg Mini Mall has been in business for over 10 years, and they have over 30 vendors inside, with a rotating inventory to fit that something special that you're looking for. The inventory constantly is updating, and there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall, located at 335 West Main Street, where you'll bump into a friend, and, well, we'll treat you like family. If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, we'll travel. Well, before long, you're going to need some gasoline, and the good folks at Maples is there for you. And plus, inside, they're going to feed you a great biscuit.
Yes.
Biscuits, get you some gravy, and of course, they got all those fixings there for you.
How good that looks.
It does. Eggs, I like them. Now, lunchtime's coming up. They'll be serving it up there. 2 vegetables, meat, and some cold iced tea there for about $8.99. Talk to them at Maples. Let them show you around what all they've got to offer there. If you're needing coffee to get your day motivated or to make it through the day, they've got that loyalty coffee program. Cold drinks and anything that might need right there, including moon pies and more. Pizza, you'll find that out in Pine Springs or on Bonita Chevron. Lots to do. Even ice cream on a hot day like today, 77. Maybe that's what you want. They've got it with those lottery tickets. a good chance at winning. See them today. 6 locations from Bonita, Pine Springs, Causeyville, out to 31st Avenue, Broadmoor, and Last Chance Tobacco there on Highway 493. They'll take care of all that for you no matter what you're looking for there. Already 8:54 this morning, Candace. What are we going to do?
I don't know. It's flying on by, though. Need
Lot
longer to get everything in.
A lot of comments on the number one songs there.
I saw this next,
Yeah.
I saw this next story, and you knew it was coming at some point, but you just didn't think.
And what Candace is talking about is we lost Barbara Wawa over the weekend. And, of course, I'm using the Saturday night live slang. But Barbara Walters passed away at the age of 93 this weekend.
I did not realize she was that age. I didn't realize she was 93.
Just forever, she's that 40-year-old doing the news.
Right. But she definitely would put people on the spot when she would do interviews. You know, she just laid it on out there. She had a filter, but it was like she would ask hard questions.
She did.
You know, which I think's good. You know.
Now, here's another one. That anybody remember the song Romeo and Juliet, Samson and Delilah, the Pointer Sisters? Anita Pointer passed away over the weekend. She was only 74.
Goodness.
Her time was cut a little bit shorter. Makes you wonder how some people are given so much more time and others less. Well, I don't have the answers for it.
I don't either.
But another one passed away there of barely not making it into the new year. Let's see here. Times Square. This was bad of something that happened over the weekend. It was at one time an American citizen, a 19-year-old, joined up and went Islamic, stabbed a police officer this weekend. 19 years old done that. We do hope he's going to recover. This was just a bad deal all the way around. Converted. They said he started blaming people, his family, yelling at them.
And you wonder what makes people do that. I mean, do they get on the internet and get involved, chatting back and forth with these groups? Because there are those groups on the web or the internet or whatever you want to call it.
Has to be something that does
entices
that.
them. Yeah.
But that happened in New York this weekend. Senseless act there, and we do hope that everybody recovers from that. Let's see what else. We got time for a couple of more things to mention up. This thing dealing with the Idaho murder.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm glad
goodness
they did find somebody.
Yeah.
I saw where they probably, they found him through DNA. And this morning they said that it possibly could have been somebody who had, sent something into an ancestry type thing like they do now, and they linked him to that somehow or another. He might have been linked to that. So,
wore gloves, whole 9 yards, and knew what he was doing. It's come to the end of our time. We'll be back tomorrow morning, beginning again at 8 a.m. We wish you'll come back and visit with us tomorrow again.
That's right. Get your umbrellas ready because it looks like it's going to be a damp day.
It will be.
So, y'all have a wonderful day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: